This guy stood inside, broad shoulders, sharp obliques.
I'm sorry! I didn't know anyone was in here.
The guy threw on a t-shirt and turned around. It was Jason. Suddenly, the door burst open. A crowd of classmates stood there, phones ready, shouting. The next morning, I woke up to his friends laughing outside.
Did Jason really give his keycard to Tiffany? Obviously, they're a perfect match.
Imagine if it was that fat pig Ellie. Gross.
Thinking about her in his bed makes me gag.
The keycard in my bag wasn't meant. 6 years later, my first film just got shelved. My agent drags me to a VIP suite.
The guy in the middle holds the fate of your film. Do whatever it takes to get on his good side.
I push the heavy doors open and freeze. That man is Jason. The moment my eyes locked with Jason's, my heart stopped. My agent only said the new boss was named Jason. She left out his last name, Jason Cross. The man who controls 2/3 of the industry's distribution networks. For the past 6 months, since he took over, countless actresses had tried to throw themselves at him, only to be blacklisted. I was desperate. Major distributors blacklisted my first film. This was my absolute last resort. But the second I stepped into the VIP suite...
Who the hell let this gold digger in? Don't you know Mr. Cross hates women trying to crawl into his bed? Get lost. Another cheap girl trying to sleep her way in? Jason, you really are a magnet for these pests.
Jason lit a cigarette and glanced up. His eyes were cold as ice, like he was looking at a stranger, and that is when it hit me. I am no longer the 200-pound fat girl he used to know in high school. He didn't recognize me. Relief washed over me. I flashed a smile and raised my glass. My apologies for crashing, Mr. Cross. Let me make it up to you. Cheers. I tilted my head and downed the liquor. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Jason's brow twitch slightly, but he remained silent. I'm Elena Lane, a new actress. I just starred in Chasing Shadows.
Save it. A-Leister stripped for him and he didn't blink. Get out before he gets mad. You really don't want to cross him.
My heart sank. It was expected, yet it still stung. I took one last look at Jason, who sat there like an untouchable god, silent. Sorry to disturb you. I turned to leave, but the next second, a deep, lazy, painfully familiar voice echoed from behind me.
Chasing Shadows? I think I've heard of it.
As soon as those words left his mouth, the sneers in the room vanished. The silence was deafening. I turned back, stunned. Jason sat in the dim light, his features sharper now. He still had that boyish edge, but with a new, dangerous weight to it. It still pulled at my heart.
I heard the film has potential, but the rating board flagged a few controversial scenes, stalling its wide release. Am I correct?
I nodded eagerly, hope flaring in my chest.
Yes, exactly. Our producers have offered to recut those scenes, but the major distributors still won't give us a straight answer.
My heart pounded against my ribs. Jason stood up at 6'3". He towered over me. The pressure of his gaze was suffocating.
You're asking the wrong man. That's not my department.
He turned to leave. Panic gripped me. As he brushed past, I reached out and grabbed his arm.
They say Jason Cross can make anything happen. Please, there must be a way.
Jason froze. His dark eyes dropped to my hand. I yanked it back, palms sweating, and forced myself to speak. I know you don't lack anything, Mr. Cross. But if you help me with this, I promise to do whatever's in my power to repay you in the future. Just name your terms.
Whatever is in your power?
Jason turned slowly. His gaze snapped back to my face, dark and intense. He stared for a few seconds, a mocking smirk on his lips.
I'm afraid what I want, Elena, is something you are not prepared to give.
Before I could speak, Jason pushed the door open and walked out. Defeated, I dragged myself down to the underground parking garage.
How did it go? Did you see Jason? What did he say?
I shook my head in silence. Chloe sighed, patting my shoulder.
Hey, it's okay. It was a long shot anyway. I heard an Oscar winner tried to buy him a drink last week and he dumped it right in front of her. I only had you try because you guys went to the same high school. I thought maybe, just maybe, there was a slim chance.
She nudged me into the van, her eyes gleaming with curiosity.
But seriously, did you really not know him back then? With a face like that, he must have been the ultimate school heartstream.
I paused before stepping in, trying to sound completely indifferent. I have no idea. Maybe he got a massive glow-up, or some serious plastic surgery after graduation. It's pretty as common these days. Suddenly, Chloe choked, coughing. She shot me a wide, I'd glare, gesturing for me to shut my mouth. Parked right behind us was a sleek, deep blue Rolls-Royce Phantom. The tinted rear window rolled down just an inch, revealing Jason's face cloaked in the shadows of the backseat. His assistant walked up to me, respectfully handing over a gold-embossed black card.
Ms. Lane, Mr. Cross invites you to have dinner at his private lounge tomorrow night.
The assistant cleared his throat, looking slightly uncomfortable.
Oh, and Mr. Cross said you can personally verify tomorrow if he's ever had any work done.
What is Jason after? A casual fling?
Chloe examined the card.
Wait, is this a room key?
A key card. A flood of buried memories hit me. I never expected that after all these years, his habits hadn't changed.
But Jason rejected an Oscar winner. Why would he send you a key card? Be honest, did you two have a history?
How is that possible? You've seen my old photos. I was as round as a balloon. Why would someone like he ever look at me?
True. You were invisible back then. But who knew you'd turn into a stunner after losing the weight? Your face is literally made for the big screen.
I offered a fake smile. Chloe was wrong. I wasn't invisible. I was the school's most famous joke. My name was chained to Jason's for 2 years. He hated me for it. In junior year, Jason transferred to our school and immediately became the ultimate golden boy. Like every other girl, I fell for him at first sight. But I had self-awareness. I was ballooned to 200 pounds due to steroid medication. While other girls screamed his name from the sidelines, I hid on the second-floor balcony, watching from afar, while they stuffed love letters in his desk. I only dared to steal a glance when he walked past me to the water fountain. I poured it all into a diary. It was supposed to be a harmless crush, until one day, the class bully snatched my diary and read it aloud to the classroom.
Jason, I don't know why I love you so much. We've never spoken a word. I only dare to look at your back.
Laughter erupted.
Holy crap! Fat Ellie actually has a crush on Jason?
The bully slammed my diary onto Jane's desk.
Hey, Jason, how does it feel to be crowed by a fat pig?
Everyone stared. I squeezed my eyes shut, tears threatening to spill. I looked at Jason. He didn't laugh. He put down his book, picked up my diary, and walked over to my desk.
Thank you. But please, don't write this anymore.
I could literally hear my dignity shatter. Trembling, I took the book back.
Okay, I won't.
Tears finally spilled. I shoved the diary into my desk, wanting to disappear.
Well, we're talking now, aren't we?
I looked up, sniffing, confused. Jason stood against the sunlight, his dark eyes glittering.
Didn't you write that we've never spoken?
A faint smile touched his lips.
Now we have.
Because Jason didn't push me away, the bullying only grew worse. My classmates turned it into relentless mockery.
Ellie, you're only grossing him out because he's too nice to say anything. Look in a mirror. Jason has Tiffany. He'd never look at you.
Jason and Tiffany were the school's star hosts. One day, Tiffany walked into our classroom, loud and proud.
Jason, can we talk? I saw your mom at my dad's company this morning. She asked me to bring you this jacket.
Whispers and giggles erupted. I shrank into the corner of the hallway.
What is wrong with that girl, Ellie? She keeps stalking you. How can someone be so shameless?
Stop.
Jason frowned.
She's just a classmate.
My ears buzzed. The rest of their words faded. Covering my mouth, I fled. The verbal rejection still crushed me. I started avoiding him. Wherever he went, I hid. But the bullies grew bored of me hiding. During swim class, a girl stopped me outside the locker room.
The girls' locker room door is broken. You have to change in the second-floor lounge.
I didn't think twice. I took my swimsuit and pushed the lounge door open. A shirtless guy stood inside. Broad shoulders, sharp obliques.
I'm sorry! I didn't know anyone was in here.
The guy threw on a t-shirt and turned around. It was Jason. Suddenly, the door burst open. A crowd of classmates stood there, phones ready, shouting.
Holy crap, Ellie! Are you seriously peeping on Jason?
She's trying to force herself on him!
My face burned with rage.
Stop lying! The girls' locker room is broken!
No, it's not. I just saw girls going in. You're just desperate to get into his pants.
Man, I'm scared to change here now. What if she targets me next?
Laughter filled the room. Jason's face darkened to pitch black.
Get out! Everyone, get the hell out!
His voice shaking the walls. I ran, tears streaming down my face. That was the last time I saw him in high school. Soon after, I had to leave school because of my health and switch to homeschooling. Then came the graduation party. Drunk, I took the wrong key card, fled. He flew across the ocean the next day. We never saw each other again.
While to help with digestion.
Otherwise, I'll have to call the family doctor tonight to deal with the stomach pain.
Quick! Lock me up! Don't let me out no matter how much I beg!
So-called husband hasn't set foot in the house once. To take the edge off, I had someone buy me a bond slip from the black market. Duke's son on vacation. I couldn't afford him, so I got tough and started penny punching on him. Guess what? After 2 measly meals of coarse bread and stale biscuits, he actually glared at me, eyes all red, and yelled,
I'm done being your man!
I blinked, then I kindly reminded him, What man? I've been married this whole time. At best, you're my side piece. His face went ghost white. He grit his teeth and spat back.
You're so broke, and you think you can afford to keep a lover?
We left it at that. A fight, a slammed door, and silence. I packed my stuff and went back to the capital. The moment I walked in, I heard that my husband's long-missing younger brother had finally come home. The second son was creeling in the great hall, and they'd just given him 10 lashes. Through the door, I heard my mother-in-law, Lady Eveline, shaking with rage.
You had to fall for someone else's wife? Of all people! Isn't this family a mess enough for you?
I felt bad for the guy, so I turned his head, looked right at me, and his lips curled up.
Faye, long time no see.
I froze. That face, those eyes, that infuriatingly smug expression. Oh, hell no. That was my high-maintenance, impossible secret lover. Then my father, on his deathbed, actually went and made my pathetic dream come true. Back in the day, he'd saved some big shot in the military. That man later rose to power and became the most powerful family in the capital. And my dad used that old favor to arrange a marriage for me. After I buried him, I happily packed my bags and headed for the capital, ready to marry a man I'd never even seen. But on our wedding night, my husband left a letter and ran off before I could say, I do. He said he had urgent business for the crown, or maybe he just didn't want to marry me. Either way, I was stuck at the House Valois, a bride nobody knew what to do with. Lady Eveline had a 3-day migraine over it. Eventually, she stuck me in a small courtyard on the east side of the estate and told me to stay put. That was 2 years ago. In 2 years, my husband never wrote, never called, never showed up. Lady Eveline was always cold to me, but she never skimped on anything. My monthly allowance was generous, and I adapt fast. No husband? No husband, no problem. I slept till noon every day. When I got bored, I'd throw on men's clothes, sneak into the city, and flirt with noble lamings. If I caused trouble, I just flashed the house valet's distant relative card and breezed through it. Life was paradise. Until one day, Lady Eveline finally hit her limit.
Another family came today, demanding you marry their daughter.
She snapped, sitting in her high-back chair, gripping her wine glass like she wanted to crush it. Could have been worse.
How?
Honestly, I thought someone was here to kill me.
You think nobody wants to?
Fair point. I'd been out there using the Valois name, sticking my nose in everything and making plenty of enemies. I rubbed the back of my neck, ready to apologize, but she cut me off, ice cold.
Adrian's been gone 2 years. For all I know, he's dead. I'm calling this marriage off.
Danger. Red alert. Call it off? No way was I getting kicked out of this sweet, money-filled, no-effort lifestyle. So without missing a beat, I threw myself on the floor. I'm very good at this and put on my best whiny voice. I'm not leaving. If you force me out, I'll crawl through the streets crying until the whole capital knows that the House Valois married a girl and then dumped her.
What did we ever do to deserve you?
Her floor was covered in thick wool carpet. I sank into it like a cloud. Anything else, my lady? No? Great. I think I'll nap. She pressed a hand to her forehead and said nothing for a long time. Then I saw she was actually upset, so I carefully got up, walked around behind her, and started rubbing her shoulders. My lady, don't be mad. You know the House Valois hasn't had it easy these past few years. The eldest son ran off. The second won't behave. Lord Richard only cares about business outside. This whole house, top to bottom, you're the one who holds it together. Other people might not see it, but I do. The real head of the House Valois has always been you. Her shoulders went stiff. I pulled a little box from my bag and put it in her hand. See this? I got into a fight in the city the other day, just to grab it for you. It's the new lipstick from the south. Only a few in the whole capital. Lady Eveline looked down at the box. Then she slowly glanced around the room. My adventure drockrels sat by the bed. The pot of white roses by the window was one I'd carried home from the market. After a long moment, she sighed.
You're a little monster. A troublemaking little monster. But the house has felt more alive because of you. Thank you for not being scared off by my cold shoulder and for always trying to cheer me up.
I repinned her hair, opened the lipstick, and carefully dabbed a little on her lips. I smiled at her. My lady, the gods gave you this face. Don't let yourself turn into a dusty old portrait before your time.
So sweet. You're out of money again, aren't you?
Well, yes. But I also have a real favor to ask.
Go on.
I can't just wander around the city forever. How about you send me to Silver Lake Academy? Their military program is supposed to be great. My dad taught me swordplay when I was little. I'll put in a few years, maybe even land a commission, and come back to watch your back. The kingdom had changed. Anyone, man or woman, with real skill could join the military now. I'm lazy, not stupid. If I had to push myself, I could. Lady Evelyn's eyes lit up.
You got into Silver Lake?
I scratched my head.
Not exactly. Want to just buy my way in?
She kicked me in the butt.
Get out!
I shuffled to the door, and just as I reached it, she said, cold as ice,
Come back.
I turned around, standing at attention like a good soldier.
Fine, I'll send you.
I blinked. Her voice was gruff, but her eyes were getting red.
Don't cause too much trouble out there. And if you do, don't use my name. I'd be ashamed.
I nodded fast.
But if someone starts something with you, don't back down. My brother's the governor of the Southlands now. If anything happens, go to him. As long as you're even a little in the right, you hit back twice as hard.
My heart got warm. I went over and hugged her, pressing my face into her shoulder.
My lady, I'll miss you.
Go on. Enough of that.
She stiffed. Her ears went pink, but her voice stayed sharp. At the door, she suddenly grabbed my arm and lowered her voice.
You're going to be alone out there. If you get lonely, finding a man isn't the worst thing. If you get lonely, finding a man isn't the worst thing. Just don't let some pretty face fool you.
I was speechless.
My lady, do I look like that kind of person?
She gave me a long, knowing smile.
For some reason, I felt guilty. I puffed out my chest and swore.
Don't worry, I'll be on my best behavior.
3 months later, that promise was in pieces on the floor. Silver Lake Academy was everything they said. The hardest school to get into, and the most exhausting. Day classes, night training, morning runs. In 2 months, I'd lost weight, and my arms and legs act like they belonged to someone else. But here's the thing about the Southlands. It's way more open than the capital. Several of my classmates, highborn ladies with official husbands at home, had lovers on the side. They got hot soup delivered, warm cloaks draped over their shoulders, pretty boys meeting them after every class. And me? I climbed into a cold bed by myself every night. The longer I lay there, the sorrier I felt for myself. So I wrote to Lady Eveline with tears in my eyes. My lady, I can't do this anymore. Call off the marriage if you want, but this cold, lonely bed is going to kill me. Her reply came a few days later. The whole letter was her yelling at me in ink. Is this really about a man? You'd throw away this family over a warm body? Then, lower down. Fine, I'll find you someone reliable. A woman just needs to know where home is. A lover on the side is nothing. Focus on your studies. When you come back, clean up your mess. Other than you and me, nobody has to know a thing. I stored the letter safely. Reading when servants dragged an unconscious man into my room. I stood there completely stunned. She really didn't waste any time. I crouched down and looked at the man they'd brought. He wore a dark white shirt, stained with old blood. His wrists and ankles were raw. His skin was covered in whip marks and bruises. But his face, sharp eyebrows, high nose, thin lips, he didn't look like a slave. He looked like a nobleman's son. I sighed, had his chains removed, and called a physician. 3 days later, he woke up. First thing he did was glare at me. His voice was wrecked, but he was still fierce.
Let me go.
I smiled, held out a bowl of medicine, pinched his chin, and poured it down his throat. He grimaced at the bitter taste. You can go, but I've kept you for 3 days. Medicine, doctor, food, that's 20 silver boins. Pay me back first. He turned his face away and closed his eyes. I don't force anyone. Once you're healed, leave anytime. But this isn't a charity. You stay, you pay rent. 2 silver a month. Fair? He didn't answer. Just his eyelashes fluttered. I left him alone. I had classes and training. I didn't have the energy to babysit. But 10 days later, things changed. I just washed up and was about to go to bed when my door opened. He walked in slowly, stood by the bed. Ears bright red, eyes still fierce. Before I could ask, he climbed onto the bed, grabbed my shoulder and practically ground out.
I'll do it. With you.
I froze. He leaned down to bite my lip, clumsy, trembling, his eyes filled with tears.
This is my first time. Be gentle, or I'll haunt you forever.
I almost laughed. His eyes were red, and he added, furious.
And you have to take care of me.
I patted his back. Then I pulled out a pill and popped it into his mouth. Swallow. He frowned but did it. Half an hour later, the flush on his face faded. That antidote cost me 30 silver. Plus what you owe me, you're at 50 silver now.
You tricked me?
I saved you. If you want, stay and be my attendant. I'll pay you 2 silver a month. When you're not working for me, find a job. Pay off your debt, and you're free to go. He stared at me for a long time. His expression went through about 5 different emotions. Then he smiled.
Fine. Don't regret it.
I didn't know it yet, but I hadn't rescued a pretty man. I'd rescued a disaster. Turns out, pretty men have no common sense. He was the worst attendant ever. I asked him to boil water. He nearly burned down the kitchen. I asked him to do laundry. He shredded 3 of my best dresses. I asked him to clean the room. He broke a vase and soaked my homework. And the next day, I almost got screamed off the training field. I looked at the chaos around me, head pounding. Finally, I slapped a new bill on the table. Just go. Leave an IUU. Pay me back when you can. I expected him to walk out without looking back. Instead, his eyes went red.
Because I can't do this little stuff right, you're kicking me out?
He glared at me like I'd committed a crime.
Do you have any honor at all?
I was so startled I got mad too. What are you even talking about? We're barely more than landlord and debtor. Why are you acting like this is some big betrayal?
Oh, really? Then how do you explain this?
He laughed coldly, yanked open his collar, and showed me the hickey on his shoulder.
The other night, you were all baby. Belfew, the second I saw you, I want to die on top of you. Who was that?
6 months in the Omega Zone.
The cage door swings open. I am shoved forward, barefoot, heavy iron shackles clamped around my wrists. My expression stays calm, unflinching. The traitors hated that. Most Omegas cried when they entered the arena. Some begged. Some broke. But I would never do that. The moment I believed they owned me, they would truly chain my soul forever.
She's unmarked? Impossible. That body type survived Omega Zone?
She looks expensive.
And at the center, Serpent King Kale Virith, half-shadowed, immobile, watching, his tail curled slowly around the throne like a living verdict. A single flick of his fingers.
I will take her.
9,800,000 credits, auto-accepted.
No further bids. Serpent King claims lot 77 at full sovereign price.
The gavel fell. In the serpent world, fertility is a curse. Most females never conceive, but I gave birth to 3 serpent heirs at once. Cashin, Rowan, and Nico. Annual mate reconfirmation ceremony. The hall was filled with nobles. But tonight, the king did not stand beside his official mate. He holds Isla Saran in his arms, another Omega. Soft, fragile, familiar.
Leora Vance is no longer my mate.
I stood at the far end of the hall. His eyes drifted over my body.
I should never have brought you back from that auction. Isla suffered for years because of my mistake. You are nothing but a breeding vessel.
I felt the room waiting for me to crumble, to beg, to prove him right. But I had learned long ago in the Omega Zone, the people who enjoy humiliating you never stop when you give them tears.
Are you certain? I am the mother of the Virith line. The kingdom needs me.
Need you? Those curves, that fertility, that's all you were. You may stay. After all, you did produce hairs, but you will no longer be my mate. My brother's household still lacks a mate. You will be transferred to Darius.
The Lost Prince? He's assigning his mate to the vanished war god?
Darius Virith, king's brother, the kingdom's most feared war god. He vanished during the Northern Campaign. But one thing remained unchanged. No one had ever dared claim his title. The man who had visited too often, even when I was first bought at the auction. I remember it now. He was there. sitting at the edge of the arena shadows. Not bidding, just watching me. He wanted me, and that scared me more than Kale's cruelty ever did. My eyes met Kale's without trembling.
If I am being transferred like property, then I refuse to belong to anyone who discarded me.
At the center of the chamber floated an enormous silver scroll. Hundreds of glowing names drifted across its surface. Every bonded pair in the Serpent Kingdom.
King Kale Virith, you are requesting a permanent mate transfer decree? Once removed from the blood scroll, this bond can never be restored.
Do you know how many clans would start a war for an Omega like her?
She carried triplets and survived. That's practically royal blood level.
Proceed.
He answered coldly, without looking at me once. The elder raised his staff. Runes ignited beneath my feet. Ancient magic awakened. The golden scroll slowly unfurled itself. Then my name appeared. Leora Vance, mate of Kale Virith. The entire chamber trembled. The silver letters of my name began to crack. One by one,